voted on, you son of a bitches. And tonight it's going to be the kind that you didn't get before. I'm just going to come all over the fucking screen. First up, thank you guys for watching tonight. This is really, I really cherish you guys. Share it if you care about me. If you don't, I guess I'll see. First up, we have this delicious dish. Are we ready for him? Are we ready? It's my daddy, Kyle Porter.
Woo! Nick, congratulations, you tried something. I have no other notes. I would like to start tonight with a little announcement about myself. I found out yesterday that I am in contention to be nominated for a Golden Globe Award for that Christmas movie that I did last year. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a nomination for a nomination kind of thing. I have to point this out because the other roasters are lazy and they probably didn't catch this in that amount of time. And what it means is basically, I won a Golden Globe, so y'all losers can suck my butts. We're getting into it tonight. We've got some new people on the dais today. Welcome to the show and goodbye to any progress you were making as comedians. Nick has created himself a great little black hole to suck in and trap comedians. And yes, I mean his anus. I'm burning bridges tonight, kids. I don't care. I'm a made-for-TV movie star. I don't know Landry Miller, and I've also never seen Law and Order, but I'm still pretty certain that Landry Miller looks just like a guy on that show. You know, the one who chops up his overbearing mother and then buries her under the floorboards. Same guy who later quotes scripture while he touches himself. Hi, Landry. Landry, when he's not masturbating to biblical verses, ran for city council, which is pretty cool. He didn't win, but that's not surprising when your slogan is Landry Miller, who? But I did happen to stumble upon his campaign website, and I think I figured out why your numbers were down. It's because it was one sentence long, and it just redirected us to his podcast, like every other comedian on the dais. His podcast also has less viewers than he had voters, so way to go. I actually didn't research that last one, so don't hold me to that shit. Doesn't matter. I don't need to fact check. I'm a movie star, bitches. Molly Jordan and Nick. Molly's another newbie. Welcome. Molly Jordan and Nick met while doing theater, and if there's one thing I know about theater, kids, it's that Molly definitely does anal. Speaking of that, Molly is popping her comedy cherry tonight, which is something she hasn't been able to say since Landry cornered her in the park. Molly, congratulations on finally becoming the whitest person in the room. There was a lot of hard competition, but you did it. You are the whitest one. You pulled through. I'm proud of you, kid. Speaking of white women, Nick Hawk made the mistake of warning us that we may have a secret guest tonight who wanted to defend Angelica. If you wanted to keep it a secret, don't tell my loud mouth. He didn't tell us who it's going to be. And I would put money on the fact, as we all know, I won't hold up to my bets. But I would put money on the fact that if somebody's defending Angelica, it's going to be a white woman. That may not be funny now, but wait until the end and it's going to get hilarious when I'm right. David Parsons is a dirty old Brit, ain't he? Welcome, David.
Hello.
Hello. David, what is it like living in a country where everything is trying to kill you? You know, there's snakes, there's crocodiles, there's kangaroos. Oh, and the fact that you're all descended from murderers and rapists. I will say, oh, wait. Yeah, I guess I didn't really pass geography. That's a self-burn. I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of this joke anyways. I don't know what part of Australia is or where in England Australia is, but you Brits sure have a great threshold for pain. I was watching this TV show the other day and a guy got bit by a great white and he was just like, hey, Dad, can you walk me to the hospital? I think I got blood on my boots. And his dad was just like, go for it, mate. So got you, David. Got him good. Nailed it, mate. Anna Barden always nominates cartoons to roast, which is news to me. And not to get too personal about your family, but it's because it takes her back to a time when she was still considered mature for her age. Boom, got you. Yeah. You thought I was coming for your dad again, but instead I did like he did and bailed on it. Hannah Howard reminds me of Angelica because they are both basic white women who feel powerful when degrading children. That goes back to the old puncheroo that Hannah is really mean to her children, which it's funny because it's not. So sorry, I got another one for you, Hannah. I lost my place. Hannah's husband constantly encourages her to dye her hair because every time she gets her roots redone, her husband gets a blowy, which is fun. And it's his favorite because it makes it easier to pretend like he's sleeping with the troll doll. That's why he's always trying to get you to pierce your belly button with a pink jewel and hide under bridges. Moving on. Miles, you look like a baked potato that Hannah left in the microwave too long. David Parsons, same burn. Got him. Miles was recently on David's podcast show, Red Mike, which makes sense because leave it to a red state to make everyone incestuous. Honestly, I would be a little jealous that everyone in Texas has a podcast that they don't let me on. But oh yeah, I'm headed to bigger and better things, like masturbating to the Golden Globe category that I'm not going to win. Oh, and this rascal right here, look at him. He looks just like me. Wes Corwin, I feel like people are probably going to compare you to Chucky tonight because usually you have the wild red hair of a young lady just getting off the bang bus. Yeah. But actually, you remind me a lot more of the grandpa, close to death. Wes Facebook says that he is a Methodist. And dude, you don't need that many things to be a repressed white dude, okay? Like you peaked early and your face are enough things. You know, if we start adding in religion, then you're just one bad DMV visit away from beating your wife. Oh, whew. That one was harder to get through than my last poop. I'm going to leave one for Wes. It's just a subtle, quick little one. Wes, you look like you use the N-word at home, but only towards inanimate objects. Like if your wife says, hey, the vacuum's broken, you'd be like, that vacuum's a real Newt Gingrich. N-word, got it. Made Westfield real uncomfortable. All right. Moving on to our host, the sexy man of the hour, Nick. Nick reminds me of Tommy's father, Mr. Pickles, but only because they both seem like they're really coked out of their heads and they're the only ones who think their ideas are any good. Hence, everyone on this dais. You know, obviously, except for me, because I won a fucking Oscar, basically. Nick was invited to do someone else's Zoom comedy show recently, and I just wish I could be in that room, not because I'm jealous, but because I'd love to see Nick fight for power on a comedy show that he was also pity invited to. Welcome to the club. Now you know how Miles feels. I love you, Miles. All right, I'm moving on to Angelica, and I just want to say I don't feel comfortable roasting a child, Nick. It's a weird choice, so I won't. I'm a rule breaker, but I will say that this little brat has ruined this beautiful ginger's life, okay? Look at him. He looks just like me. He could have had it all, like me, but instead, he had kids. Idiot. You could have ended up like me, childless, divorced, 3 months behind on rent, and almost nominated for an award. Boom, got him. Thank you. Oh, I will also say that one burn for Angelica. This one looks like a mini Kellyanne Conway. And I feel like watching her grow up is on Rugrats is exactly Kellyanne Conway. And I'm not convinced I'm wrong. She's a little young to be her, but you know, they could have played her down. All right. Well, actually, that's all I got tonight. So thank you guys so much. I love you all. Thanks for letting me roast you. And there you go, Nick. You don't get any more out of me because I'm now a Pulitzer Prize winning actor for best performance of the lifetime. And I'm basically just doing this as a favor to you. And by you, I mean everyone on the dais, because here is an example of what a winner looks like.
I didn't mean, that was a hell of it was not me switched it attention. I'm sorry. I just felt like people didn't need to hear the bullshit anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you're a Pulitzer Prize winner. That's so cool. I love that. You got to rev in, bro. You got to fucking rev in. Next up is a girl who only got participation awards. We're just Anna Howard.
Thank you, Nick, for having me, and thank you, Kyle, because you just changed my entire set single-handedly. I'm throwing everything out. We're starting from scratch. Kyle, congratulations on your nomination to be nominated.
Thank you.
I didn't know that was a thing. Kyle the other day bragged on his Facebook that he was in a Christian Christmas movie. I hope that's what you're nominated for, because you were probably some guy chopping wood in the background with no lines. But good for you. Good for you. I don't know if you guys know what PureFlix is, but I grew up in a cult, so I sure the hell do. PureFlix is the incestuous born cousin to Hallmark. It's basically where Christians go to feel like they're being persecuted, but really they're not. It's just a red cup that didn't say Merry Christmas on it. Kyle was in one of their little cute movies. Kyle, did you have to tell him you were a Christian to be on it? Did you have to like go to a church to audition? I don't even care if nobody enjoys this but me. I'm triggered. See, PureFlix produces pure shit. And by shit, I mean that in the best Christ-loving way. And Kyle, I know they didn't pay you because they can't afford it. So Kyle volunteered his time to be in a knockoff Hallmark movie that's Christ-centered. Can everybody let me just sit in that for a minute?
Oh yeah.
Did you put that on your resume? Is that on your resume?
Oh hell yeah.
I didn't even watch it yet. You know why? Because I'm out of booze. And I can't watch that sober. I won't watch it sober.
Let's roast me on Christmas.
Kyle, I haven't asked you to be on my podcast because you were on PureFlix. I'm sorry you're really bummed about that. Switch up your IMBD and maybe I'll make it interesting on my next episode. You know, when my husband isn't available to record. Moving on. I think I'm done. I think. Well, we might circle back. Hold on. Landry, I literally just like looked you up. Landry Miller is here tonight. I don't know him. I might have, I don't know. Do we do comedy? I guess it was forgettable. I don't know. I had to look at your Facebook to like really understand who you are. And it turns out Landry Miller is just trying really hard to get political on his podcast and social media. So it's just another white guy pushing the love propaganda bullshit. Unity. Landry Miller is one of those guys that's got the Black Lives Matter sign in the front yard, but he does it so he doesn't get shot. Oh. No, is that not funny? Okay.
I liked it.
Landry's here tonight because comedy isn't working. There, I did it. I landed that. Molly Jordan, you're a peach. I don't know who you are, but I love that you're here. Before Molly, you look like you know what the Enneagram is. You know what the Enneagram is. I think you're a type 9. You're a peacemaker, I think. That's just the vibes that I'm getting. I'm going back on my Christian train, you guys. She looks like she was the star in the PureFlix movie with Kyle. Who am I kidding? Guys, Molly definitely bullied me in high school, which is why I'm here with pink hair, and she's beautiful. Molly explained to us before we got on to this Zoom call, she didn't really know Angelica very well because she wasn't allowed to watch Rugrats. And I said, oh my God, were you like Christian and not allowed to watch it? And she was like, no. No, my parents were just worried that I was going to end up like Angelica. I was like, well, that's all I wrote, is that you're like exactly like Angelica. So damn, I guess your parents are right. And I don't even know you. Congratulations. Were you an only child, Molly? You just kind of paint me that vibe. No? Wow, that's really surprising. I bet if you looked in the birth order book, you would still apply C under Enneagram 9 / only child. C, Angelica from Rugrats. I'm only mad because your hair is beautiful and I have to pay a lot of money for mine. And this is what I get. David Parsons is here with us tonight because he can't afford to say no. David, we're not getting paid for this. Anna made a whole $1. Sorry, 2. She made 2 whole dollars. Which brings me on to Anna. One of my really good friends asked Anna out this week by sending her chicken wings via Uber Eats twice. So boys, in case you're wondering how to get my friend Anna Barden, I'll give you her address like I did my friend last week.
Dream come true.
I don't care if Anna's the only one that laughs at that. And I think he's watching, so hi.
Shout out Deb.
Wes Corwin, you're next. Did anyone else who was on this panel who was also part of the Plano Comedy Festival get their $5 tip today?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, $5 whole? Honestly, I'm just surprised Wes didn't spend all that on his weed. Thank you for sharing. That's so nice. Regardless, though, like $5, really? Like we worked really that hard. Like you put on this whole thing and we got $5. Bro, let's start planning for next year because I don't think this is working for me. I'll let my agent call you. Moving on to our beautiful lady of the hour, Angelica. She's proof why no one should ever have just one child. That's why I have 2 whole children and they're perfect and wonderful and I love them.
Okay.
Anyway, so she's really spoiled and neglected. And a lot of people, there's like a whole group of people out there that's like defending Angelica. Did you guys know that? They're like, this poor girl didn't even like really experience real life because her parents were really wealthy and they were like workaholics and her mom was always on the phone. And so really she was mean to Tommy Pickles because she was jealous of the love and attention that he was getting. And I'm like, bitch, please. She's mean because she's a bitch. Also, like, I don't care what your childhood has dealt you. You don't get to come into my house and treat babies and toddlers like that, okay? What are you, like, 5 or something? Ew. Take your nasty ass doll and get out of my house. I don't even, if I was this chick right here, Tommy's mom, and this little bitch came to my house all the time because my in-laws or my siblings were like just so busy that they needed me to watch their kid. I'd be like, first of all, that's $500 an hour. Okay, I'm not putting up with this shit. Secondly, I then got like 18 kids in this house and then most of them are in diapers. She's learning to change them today. I'm giving this bitch a broom and a mop and she cleaning my house and you gonna pay me for it. That's how I solve Angelica Pickles. I didn't roast Miles tonight because I got nothing. Yeah, just look at him. Nick, back to you. I got nothing for you other than, bro, this took a long time to get started tonight and you really should probably figure out how the internet works. And I guess I'll see you next week because this is all I got.
Woo.
Guys, the energy here tonight, I just feel it. You just gave me all that energy, Hannah Bonans. You just passed it over to me because I'm feeling giggly as fuck right now, okay? I made it this much through my wine, guys. And they just started. Okay, so the thing that I've realized is about the show is that we get trashed and we just like badmouth each other, and I really live for it. This is exactly like every Christmas that I've ever been to. Like, this is exactly what I love. Next up, we have a newbie, okay? So you guys need to tear him open. I'm talking about like get a knife, maybe some barbed wire, put it around his neck and like choke him just enough to make a permanent choker, you know, like a light scar. Here we go. This is Landry Miller.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I really look forward to the permanent choker, by the way. I don't know who any of you are. So this is very uncomfortable for me. I'm just here to promote my upcoming book. It doesn't really have a name yet, but based on some of the punchlines that I've received tonight, we've got some titles in the works. It's great to be here. First off, Kyle Porter, congrats on the whole nomination for a nomination of a Golden Globe. It actually makes sense considering the Golden Globe statue was modeled off the shape of your head. Like I said, I don't know who any of you are, so I have to do this all kind of like first like impressions of you right now.
I'm loving it.
The only person I've actually ever seen in person is Wes Corin. I've seen him on stage, but based on how unhealthy he looks, I think it was stage 4. So let's do some first impressions of these people. Yeah, let's. I think I'm pretty good at reading people and seeing who they really are. So I think like our host Nick, like Nick Hawk, like, hey fellas, lock up girlfriends because he's coming for our women because he's so right. Did I read that right?
Close.
Okay. Here's the first impression of David Parsons, that red-blooded American. And this bit really died before it started, so I'm going to abandon it and move on to something else. David Parsons is zooming to us live from a mugshot, I guess. And then, like I said, I don't know who any of the rest of you are. So like Miles Francis, I don't know any of your work. I assume you're famous from being a human Ninja Turtle. Or an egg with a tumor. I don't know. I have heard that Hannah Howard is actually one of the funniest comics in the DFW. Oh, I misread that. One of the funniest female comics in the DFW. So that's still impressive. Hannah Howard's what would happen if a minion got hooked on heroin. Whatever that means. I heard that Kyle Porter almost didn't make it tonight because apparently this roast schedule almost interfered with his shift of running a motel while dressed as his mother. So. Anna Barden, I don't know you at all, again, and that's okay with me. That doesn't bother me at all. Anna Barden, I have heard this through the grapevine, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I heard that you're a little self-conscious about your age, but you know what? Don't worry about it. You know why? Because you still have 10 or 20 until you start menopause. Minutes, I mean. Miles Francis, otherwise known as something I've never walked even one of, Francis. Or kilometers, Francis, so David Parsons feels included. And now let's move on to Angelica. That seems like a thing to do. I've definitely opened up the wrong tab of things I've written here, so let's do this. Angelica Pickles is more spoiled than that cup of Greek yogurt that you left in your car that one summer. Tell you what, I don't know where the accent came from there at the end.
Shut up.
Angelica is so addicted to sugar, she attempted to kill Dill because she knew there'd be cake at the funeral. These don't feel hack at all. I gotta tell you though, I did watch Rugrats when I was a kid, and I always liked, like in cartoons when I was a child, I would always like when they did like celebrity crossover episodes, you know, on the TV shows. But I was always disappointed that Rugrats never did an Adrian Peterson episode. Voice joke for comics, that won't work. Okay. I've always thought that Angelica's spirit animal would be a crack whore, as evidenced by her Barbie doll's haircut. Yeah. I feel like we're going downhill from here. And here's the thing, I know that Pickles is her last name, but to be honest, I always thought it was just a name and not what her mom obviously did to her liver while pregnant with Angelica. I mean, look at the shape of that head, you know? That's fetal alcohol syndrome if I've ever seen it. Someone's just going up on my fridge. And finally, I will say this. As unbearable of a character as Angelica Pickles is, I will say this. She does bring about a sense of sympathy, you know? Like Angelica Pickles will make anyone have sympathy for Casey Anthony.
Oh my God, Leandri. I haven't been this satisfied the whole roast. Look at you. Man, that was man. Okay. If your parents aren't proud of you, like,
They're not.
no. Okay, we can kill him if you want. Next up, we have this beautiful creature. I've spent some time with him recently, so I'm not going to insult him when I introduce him because I feel like that's just like bad form. Like we're building a friendship. We're like creating pebbles in this little pond. You know what I mean? We got to get like, how are we going to get across our friendship? You know what I mean? If we don't have all the pebbles. So I'm not taking away any pebbles. That's it. My house, Francis.
Awesome, guys. Oh man, tonight I'm here to roast a bunch of babies. So it's exactly like every Tuesday I've had for the last 5 weeks. I thought about doing this entire roast entirely in baby talk, but I realized that just made me sound exactly like Kyle Porter. Kyle sounds like if he tries to keep his figure by vomiting any longer, his voice is going to end up sounding like Grandpa Pickles. And Kyle also sounds like if he sucks just one more dick, his voice is going to end up sounding like Nick Hawk. Speaking of Nick Hawk, I found out that this week that Nick actually has his own dance move, y'all. It's called the Hawk Wing. This is real. He used this on The Voice to soar right into the diaper genie. Nick would have made it way farther on The Voice if he would have just gone with his other signature move. But Nick actually has a lot in common with some of the voice actors on Rugrats. For instance, Cheryl Chase was a failed musician before landing the role of Angelica on Rugrats. And Nick Hawk was failing at music before he decided to start failing at comedy. But one major thing that's way different about Rugrats than Nick Hawk is eventually the Rugrats added the characters Susie and Kimmy to the cast when they were pointed out how white the show was. It's week 6, Nick. Week 6. The closest thing we have to a person of color on the panel tonight is David Parsons, who is actually whiter than Anna Barden's foundation. Seriously, Anna, what shade is that? Mime? But David, I actually have to ask you, man, what's it like to be the only man on this panel that Nick Hawk isn't actively trying to fuck? What David is going through right now is called no homo FOMO. But he's gonna make it just fine, guys, because he's used to being a giant wanker. But yeah, David is actually doing really well on Zoom comedy. He's actually even won an award recently. He won Most Likely to Succeed if he hadn't have waited until he was geriatric to start comedy. But that's not the case for our youngest comic here tonight, Anna Barden. Anna really is the baby of the group. In fact, if she was any younger, Kyle Porter would be attracted to her. But Anna looks like she's an aspiring cosplayer to me. And actually, I think Angelica would be a great character for you to portray, Anna, especially because that way you can pretend to have a father that cares about you.
Oh.
But Anna seems like the type of unstable human that would defend the actions of such a bratty character. And so is Molly Jordan. She actually actively defended Angelica on Facebook this week. I couldn't really find out much else about Molly, but I did learn that Molly really likes drag shows. And Molly, I think you did a great job with your makeup here tonight. I wouldn't have noticed anything if I hadn't noticed the bulge when you stood up. But through Facebook, I also learned that Molly's an actress. It seems though her last gig was in 2015. So she's about as successful as Kyle Porter. I'm sorry, he is nominated for a nomination. My mistake. I wrote that joke before I knew that.
Thank you.
But Molly's last time on stage, I think she was in a production of Young Frankenstein. I assume she played Igor. But 2020 hasn't been all bad to Molly. In fact, the highlight of Molly's year is coming up right now because she just posted this week that she's excited about not one, not two, but 3 shitty Netflix movies starring Vanessa Hudgens. And considering that fact and that our only mutual friend is Nick Hawk, I can tell Molly has great taste and we're totally going to be friends after this. Molly actually proudly posted about watching the Hannah Montana movie while drinking wine as well. So I guess instead of funny people, Nick is just setting up a new playdate friend for Anna Barden and Hannah Howard. And speaking of Nick setting up playdates, Landry Miller is just another endless face on the parade of guys Nick invites on the show because he wants to fuck them. Could be worse, Landry. You could be on the outside looking in like David is. But honestly, I'm actually worried about Kyle Porter this week because I'm not sure if he's more jealous of Landry cock blocking him from Nick or of that Young Frankenstein role that Molly got 5 years ago. But actually, I do feel like I've met Landry before. I just have no idea from where. So I guess your personality is as memorable as your comedy. But I did learn that Landry is a striving politician. He ran for city council in Tulsa. But Landry, I really don't think you need to get involved in politics. I mean, you're already very unlikable, and we do not need any new reasons to think you're an asshole. And also, dude, what is the motivation on your end? You're running for office in Tulsa, man. Like, winning office in Tulsa is like winning anything in Tulsa. Either way, you're still just a fat redneck loser from Tulsa. But actually, Landry didn't win. In fact, according to Ballotpedia, Landry came in dead last with 4.2% of the votes. And I thought that was funny because 4.2% also happens to be Hannah Howard's blood alcohol level. But, you know, Hannah and Angelica's voice actor, Cheryl Chase, also have a lot of things in common. For instance, Cheryl has had 54 acting credits on IMDb, and 51 of those are Rugrats related. It's kind of like how Hannah Howard has had 7 comedy bookings this year, and 6 of them have been on this roast show. But I think Hannah is like the dollar store version of Angelica's mom. Like, Angelica's mom is business-minded, professional, and she's always looking sharp, whereas Hannah's mindset is usually just around, is it too early to start drinking? And somehow she always looks like she's both just waking up, but also getting ready for bed at the same time. And Hannah had a really hard time preparing for tonight because Rugrats gives her some pretty serious PTSD about the mistakes, I mean children that she's had. But you know what? Speaking of people that look like they're suffering through a breakdown, Wes Corwin is back with us. Honestly, guys, watching Wes's comedy career slowly die is getting harder and harder to watch. Like, Wes is like an elderly relative that we all go to visit each week, like his family visit, so they can get into his inheritance. Only we're forced to perform with Wes on Zoom every week, hoping his spirit dies before ours does, so that we can get a piece of his bequeathed stage time. And honestly, guys, it looks like it's going to be any day now. In fact, Wes, blink twice if you just want us to pull the plug. All right, keep going. Good for you. And that brings us to the Brat of Honor. Angelica is the original Queen of Mean from Nickelodeon. She became popular on the show Rugrats, which was actually known for its unusual art style. Some people could critique the animation, saying it made them feel uncomfortable and off-putting. That is also how most people describe your comedy, all of you. But one of the things I really like about Nickelodeon was the old jingles, like for instance, the Nick, which I also assume that's what it sounds like in Nick's house when he's fucking his boyfriend, also named Nick. But Angelica is a self-centered, narcissistic jerk who demands attention and praise. Gee, I wonder why she's so popular with all the comedians. Last thing I'll talk about, guys, there's actually a really dark theory that the Rugrats, basically none of the babies are actually alive and they all exist in Angelica's head. She's got mental issues. But I think that's very, very perfect for this group because it's just like your jokes don't have real punchlines and all the laughter just exists in your heads. Back to you, Nick.
You know what, Miles? I hope that she's making all this up because she deserves to be riddled for the rest of her life for what she did to those fucking children, okay? Deserves to be punished, all right? I don't care if she burns in the 8th layer of hell. I don't even know if layers, but in my mind, there should be, okay? For Angelica fucking Pickles. And her last name just reminds me of Dick, which makes me think that I should like her because I'm hungry every time I hear it, but it's just, I don't. It's just not. It's just not. Miles, I think you go too hard on Wes because Wes is a fucking saint. Do I have to back him like I backed Anna last week with the other Wes? Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to back people, Nick. You're
All
proving
right.
my point.
You are great. You're a great person, okay? I think you're fucking dope. Next up, we have a newbie, okay? I've been waiting for this all night. Literally, I've been waiting so long to take a shit. It's unreal. So I can't wait to put her on so I can go do that. Her name is Molly Moon Vault. I think is what it says. Not 100% certain.
Well, Nick, I'm so glad that I can offer you this reprieve. Enjoy. But thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be doing this. I've never met any of these people, I mean, other than Nick. So I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm an accountant by trade and I do a bit of theater on the side. I'm also super passionate about charity work and volunteer, which is why you can see I've actually linked Wes Corwin's Venmo on my feed tonight. I get it, man. Like, you know, funny people who can't act do stand-up comedy, and people who can't do stand-up comedy do whatever the fuck it is that you do. So I respect the grind. I hope tonight we can raise enough money to buy you a new sweatshirt. There's another newbie here tonight. This is also Landry's first time on Nick's Roast Show. Landry, I'm sorry, but I don't have any jokes prepared for you. Much like that girl who begrudgingly took you to prom in high school, you were Nick's backup choice for tonight, so I didn't to snoop around and find out anything about you. And obviously you were too busy on your mother's farm to find out anything about me and make a joke about me. I'm not hurt or anything. Hannah Howard, I saw you last week and it's just so nice to see you standing upright and not dying of liver cirrhosis. When you were talking last week about Governor Ratcliffe, it was just so funny. I mean, you know, like what I could understand, a lot of it was slurred and didn't make any logical sense, but like the jokes that did landed hard. They were so good. I'm not sure if you did any research for tonight, but I wanted to reassure you that, you know, you're not seeing double. Lil and Phil are twins. But the fact that you questioned it maybe makes you stop to think about your choices. And actually just an intervention that we're throwing for you. I'm just kidding. Keep drinking. Who else is here? Oh, just scrolling through Zoom. Kyle Porter. Kyle Porter, you are so great on these shows. I watched a few of them for some research, and I know that Nick talks like a lot of shit about you, but your material is super funny. Although you do trigger me like just a little. because you look like every guy that's ever sent me a dick pic. Like you're definitely guilty of getting on Tinder and aggressively hitting on women. And then when they shoot you down, you know, you say something like, you're a lesbian, or you're an ugly bitch, or second cousins are legal in this state. But seriously, Kyle, please don't write about me on your incel blog. Another thing that we learned about Kyle tonight, your nomination. I feel like maybe you should calm down about it just a little bit. You know, you wear horrid sweaters and you were nominated for some bullshit award. Congrats. You're a member of the same club as Bill Cosby. Calm down. Who else? Miles Francis. Oh, Nick has told me all about you. And that was a super short conversation because you're very boring. Like, is that why you wear such loud shirts? Do you know that wearing a Hawaiian shirt is not a personality trait? And like, that's coming from a person who thinks loving fall is. So reevaluate your life, Miles. Just kidding. Your look is great. You know, you got that like Danny Tamborelli's even less successful younger brother look going for you. Or like that song Party Rock Anthem came to life and was just spewing its broness all over you. I'm so nervous. You know, this is all very new to me. I was trying to figure out, first of all, how to write jokes, and especially just about people that I didn't know and that I've never met before. So I was going through their Facebooks and trying to look up who they were. And I gotta say, Danny Parsons was the one that I really, really struggled with. I was trying to figure out a way to make a joke about Danny Parsons in a way that just wasn't obvious already. I mean, the fact that he's a British expatriate that looks like he would unironically yell, "Build that wall," ridiculous enough in itself. The mail-in votes count, Danny. Trump lost. Sucks for you. But this is a new America where all immigrants are welcome. So, like I said, I haven't met anyone, so I obviously did some social media sleuthing, and for most people, I really got a feel for who they were, except for Anna. Other than she likes Target and presumably Taylor Swift, I really didn't have much to go on. So I asked Nick about her, and Nick was like,
no.
"Bring up her dad." And I was like,
No,
I was like, all right, I won't bring up her dad. I am not bringing up Anna's dad. Not happening. So I asked, what else is there? And he's like, well, you know, she's still a virgin. Doesn't really give me much to work with. I'm not really sure how to talk about her being a 20-something virgin without talking about her obvious and severe daddy issues. So I think I'm just going to skip Anna and say, Anna, you look so pretty tonight, and I am so proud of you. You are doing so great, honey. Who's left? Nick. It's been 10 years since I met Nick. I remember first meeting Nick and thinking, oh my God, this guy is a walking stereotype. I mean, Nick is to gay culture what Mickey Rooney was to Japanese culture. Like, I actually thought he was an act. I mean, there was this one day that he grabbed my breasts, and I was like, oh my God, he's one of those creepy straight men that acts like they are gay so they can fondle women. And it wasn't until later when I walked in on him doing a line off of the music director's penis that I realized he might actually be gay. He had just grabbed onto my breast to feel something. That pure and utter disgust he felt from touching my body helped him ground himself and realized he wasn't in some like coked out fever dream. So you're welcome. I also found out recently that Nick is a top. That's not the joke. He really is. It's pretty shocking. I know. He's just so skinny. Hard to imagine him being able to have the strength to hold down any man for that long. Oh, enough about Nick. Let's talk about a different spoiled white trailer trash queen, Angelica Pickles. As you can see, Nick has chosen Charlotte Pickles as my background for tonight, which I feel like is super accurate. I'm type A, I'm repressed, I definitely seem like a closeted lesbian, and I would most definitely have a crazy bitch of a daughter. And I know that we are here to roast Angelica. And I hate to prove Kyle right, but why? Why are we roasting her? Was she a bully? Sure. But all of my elementary school bullies have very successful MLMs that are constantly trying to hire me. So they must be doing something right. I think instead of roasting her, I'm just going to list all of the reasons that I love Angelica. Number one, she's pushy. She's loud. She's confident. She wears her underwear over her tights. She's a motherfucking gay icon. Find me one queen who doesn't stand her. There's a lot, but don't prove my point. She's somehow smarter than everyone else in her world. There was an episode where she convinced all of the adult family members and a doctor that she had broken a leg so that people would have to wait on her. Yeah, of course, she's able to manipulate those babies because they're babies. They're very stupid. You're telling me that you're not impressed at all that she was able to con all of the adults in her life and a man who went to 8 years of schooling to be a doctor? I mean, sure, we're definitely seeing some narcissistic personality traits, but she's definitely not a psychopath. Can't diagnose them that early. Number three, she's the underdog. She never wins. You're telling me that she never deserved to win, ever? Sure, from the viewpoint of Tommy, she was a bully. But unless you're telling me that she is the Stalin of toddlers, there is no way that she didn't at least occasionally deserve something good to happen. I mean, she saved Chucky's life, for God's sakes. And in return, he became her baby slave. Number four, she doesn't actually bully real people. Someone before me, someone relevant, mentioned that there is this whole theory that all the children are dead, and I absolutely buy into it. People make the argument that she bullies Tommy and Chucky and the twins, but can you really bully someone who is just a figment of your imagination? We all know that those babies aren't real. They're all dead, and they're just Angelica's imagination. So she's really not bullying anyone. She's just finding an outlet for her angers and her frustration. She's still able to have friendships. Susie Carmichael is her best friend. Although I do think she said more than once in her life, I'm not racist, my best friend is black, but baby steps, people. All right, two more, just hang on. Number five, she's the only Pickles without a stupid fucking name. Lulu, Dee Dee, Stu, Lou, Hugh, Tay-Ray, Tammy Faye, Trixie. Of course, she feels superior. She's the only one not named for a future in drugs and or domestic violence. Speaking of drug addiction, there was an episode where she beat her addiction. This is my sixth and final point, and you can stop listening to me, okay? I don't know if anyone remembers this, but she was the center of an episode that was like very like, tonight on a special episode of Rugrats, where they dealt with her severe cookie addiction and the babies, they had to hide the cookies from her. And she even ate them after being dropped in a bucket full of soapy water. First of all, that shows tenacity. Second of all, at the end of the episode, she beats her cookie addiction. She beat addiction in 20 minutes. Show me an addict that does that. I mean, yeah, she probably developed an Adderall addiction in college and had to operate some babysitter clubs to front her underage brothel and fund her drug addiction, but that shows entrepreneurship. I mean, bonus, that Adderall makes you super skinny. So clearly that cookie habit was no longer an issue.
Okay, I just want to take a brief second to point out the funniest joke that I don't think enough people laughed at. Molly, this last bitch that just got up, this white bitch said she's oppressed. Are you fucking kidding? I don't want to hear that again. You're oppressed. And for a second point, his name is David, not Danny. What the fuck? Not some other basic uptight white bitch's name. His name is David.
That's close enough, Nick. Calm down.
And also keep in mind, she said she was okay with dead babies. I'm You heard that because she said if all of these babies were, not real, they were dead, I'm just saying. You need
I just scanned the act listing. I didn't realize. Sorry, David. Sorry, David. The jokes still apply. You are still a Trump supporting Brit.
Yeah. What you should have scanned the room, bitch. Okay, scanned the room. Next up, we have the Brit that she was making fun of. I love it. Molly, you really did wonderful. You did wonderful.
Woo!
I like to pick on you. That's all we do here. I just love to tear you apart because not enough people in your lives tell you you're horrible people. So here, I've got next up, we have this amazingly kind, gentle giant who might have a touch of Down syndrome, David Parsons.
Hey, thanks for having me back, Nick. It's always wonderful to hang out with the Colonials and celebrate another icon of American culture. Let me see, what have I got tonight? Okay, Kyle Porter. It's a little known fact that Kyle got his start as an actor on Rugrats. He was the diaper genie. So that Ivy and Mistletoe role, the Christian movie, who do you have to not fuck to get that?
So many people.
So please send me an invite to your Razzie ceremony. I'd love to go. And you mentioned my podcast. It's actually a comedy open mic, and I would invite you, but we require people to be funny before we leave. Hannah Howard, this was your week, wasn't it? Specialist subject. I don't know whether you know, but Hannah has some kids. She may have mentioned it once or twice. I'm disappointed not to see the giant wine glass this week. I mean, it's so classy. I love that. You got a little, you mix in, what are you drinking tonight?
I've got some gin with some lime juice in it tonight.
Very civilized, very civilized.
Yeah, really
so you should get it in like a gin-sized bottle.
I crushed the rest of it, so I threw the bottle away. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Also, the name of the show, Rugrats, made me think of you. If your rug matched the drapes, you could make some serious coin as a hazard warning sign. All right, Landry Miller, can you lower my car insurance for me? I assume that's what you do, when you're not being a politician. Yeah, you ran for city council, which is great. I love to have a politician on here because I'm a lawyer, and it's nice to have a group of people represented that are more detested than my folk. That'd be nice. And I was reading through your social media profile. I don't know you that well. And you recently tweeted in favor of college students getting COVID tested before going home for the holidays with the advice, don't be a spreader. You should probably take your own advice and quit spreading those sweet cheeks to be pegged by strange women you pick up in bars. Miles Francis, what can I say about my great friend Miles Francis? You got your start selling drugs to the Rugrats, right? That's how you got into the old dealing business. Miles jokes about giving weed to his relatives at holiday occasions. Nap time is really fun at Uncle Miles's house. Also, the cookie addiction that Angelica has. You've got to have a lot of sympathy for that with your passion for edibles. And you're a big hit with the preschool crowd because it's great to finally find someone who finds your liquidized squirrel joke funny. Okay, Molly Jordan, I'm really glad to find out that you're an accountant because that explains why your social media was so boring that I couldn't find any material on. I did notice that you really enjoyed the Hannah Montana movie Drinking Wine with Friends a couple of weeks ago, which would explain why you're a big fan of Kyle's acting and Nick's singing. And I'm sorry, you're probably sort of a bit extra bitchy at the moment because it's got to be a crushing disappointment that pumpkin spice lattes are going away in a couple of weeks. I hope you survive until next fall, as you Americans will want to say. Anna Barden, I'm not going to roast you because I'm only going to roast one person 30 years my junior per mic, I think. So I'm gonna skip on by to you, right, to the wonderful Nick Corwin, who is involved this week with producing a show at Braindead Brewing, I understand. You finally found the perfect audience for your comedy. And you know, talk about Wes. He would have sold his soul for comedic talent, but he's a ginger, so that's already gone. So he sold his dick instead, and look where it got him. Nick Hawk. Oh man, I love sort of hanging with you. I know I'm a little bit frumpy with my lawyer shit going on, but it's great to hang out with the queen of heroin chic. It's fantastic. And I know why you picked this subject. You wanted us all to gang up on this girl. You're so jealous of her singing talent, which way outstrips your capability. And on to the main event herself, Angelica. I gotta say, I wanted to watch a few episodes. I'm not that familiar with this show, but the whiny voices reminded me too much of Nick, so I couldn't do too much of that. And the baby talk reminded me too much of Miles Francis's comedy sets, so that was another reason not to. But I gleaned from like Wikipedia and the 5 minutes of YouTube I could stand to watch that she's actually the original millennial, a spoiled brat with helicopter parents, and it's Rugrats canon that she demanded avocado toast as a regular daily snack. She also reminds me of my fucking sister. Oh my god, like bossy, witchy, evil babies. I couldn't go too far into that. You all don't know her, but trust me, she's an absolute. No, I can't use the word cunt. I mean that's really horrible about one's own family. Let's leave it alone. But I do know what happened. I mean, I haven't read any fan fiction or anything, but I project, with the CEO mom and a superiority complex and being a spoiled brat, her family got caught up in the college admissions cheating scandal, and her mother went away to do a little time in the federal pen, and she had to go to a state school instead of Princeton, where she somehow got onto the underwater lacrosse team from a large donation by her parents. All right, thanks for having me, Nick. It's been fun as always.
Oh, what a gem. What a handsome fella. Okay, so the thing is, I was coming back with a rebuttal on Facebook to somebody. So I was a little distracted. Next up, we have a really beautiful creature. Choose who I was responding to. First of all, hey, Anna, I told Molly not to bring up your dad. That's the first thing I said. She said she's doing her research. I said, do not bring up her father. That was the first thing I said. She's Eliza Minnelli. And then I did Virgin. That is a true story. I did. She didn't have any material. I'm trying to help all the comedians be as funny as they can be. Anna Martin, she's up next. She's wonderful, and she's probably gonna rip me apart. So I can't. This is why I don't date women, because I know the wrath of a woman is strong. Okay. Oh my God. Here we go.
Okay. We'll just get to the anger later because I was taking notes. Okay. I just want to say I have made $3 tonight because Molly and Kyle are beefing it out in my Venmo feed. And it feels just like my parents did when I was 5 and they were getting a divorce. And it feels really good. Thank you. This is not my whole set, Nick, so don't cut me off this time.
I'm not going to
Anyway, if anyone wants to keep Venmoing me, my Venmo is somewhere over here. I'm gonna need more alcohol, clearly, to get me through the next few weeks of roast. This week, Nick has done some really sneaky shit. First of all, if you can see behind my name, it says anal beads and lube. And he thought, oh, I'll just cover it up with her name in Photoshop. Look at this bitch next to me with her mouth clearly open. I'm gonna let your imagination just run wild. Okay. Let's get to the roast. David Parsons, not Danny. You guys remember that episode of Rugrats with Big Boy? It's where Angelica was really afraid of this baby that was like, I don't know how big, like a Godzilla, but in like infant form. True Rugrats fans know. Anyway, look at how much he's changed. I think the word twat is commonly used in England, but it's considered a bad word in America. So typically most people just say David. Or in Molly's case, Danny. Okay. Hannah Howard is here tonight. Oh, look, I got $2 more. That is 5. That's how much I made from the Plano Comedy Festival. So
You're welcome.
thank you so much. Hannah Howard is here. I just want to give a shout out because her hair is back to normal. No more roots, so she no longer has to borrow my bachelorette party wig. I read earlier today that a woman was arrested for impersonating an FBI agent to get free Chick-fil-A multiple times. She got out on a $3,000 bond. And so I just really wanted to congratulate Hannah for making bail and joining us tonight. So good to see you.
Thank you.
Hannah and her husband recently celebrated 11 years of marriage. And tonight tonight she's celebrating 11 minutes of sobriety. But that's broken again. Not the marriage, the sobriety is broken, but okay. I got $2 more. So I'm up to 7. Speaking of money that's been given to me, I just want to say I replied to Plano Comedy Festival and I said, donate my money to the next festival expenses. And I'm really hoping that West Corwin doesn't make me submit again. Because okay. I've had some gin, let's just say. Wes reminds me of Grandpa. Oh my God, I got 25 cents. Look at that. $7.25. Holy shit. You guys, I need to stop reading my Venmo notifications. Because then it's just gonna look like I'm reading Kyle Porter's bank account. Okay. Where was I? Wes Corwin reminds me of the grandpa in Rugrats because he's really laid back, even though it kind of seems like he doesn't know where he is half the time. Wes, I want to congratulate you on finally sitting up for a show tonight. You're halfway to stand-up comedy. Okay. Since, okay. But enough about Wes Corwin. Seriously, enough. Thank you. Miles Francis. Miles is like if Angelica's mom and Phil and Lil's mom morphed into one. And I mean that in the best way possible. Okay, it's not like Landry Miller, who looks like every single baby in the show rolled into one. Did you guys know that Miles uses the same products on his hair as Cynthia? And that's this doll on my shirt, if that was unclear. Same hair products. Okay. Let's move on to Nick Hawk. Nick is the Tommy of our panel. He's the caring older brother type. He's the leader. And oh, wait, hold on, I lost my place. I'm pulling a Kyle.
I was gonna say it's so mean.
Oh, okay. He for sure carries a screwdriver in his underwear. Nick is a camp counselor. So he gets to live his Angelica fantasy every summer and boss children around. He was not asked back this year, and not because of COVID, but because of reasons we cannot discuss on a family-friendly Facebook show. And I also just want to say that the closest we have gotten to a diverse panel is every time Nick accidentally calls Miles Francis Miles Davis. Okay, Molly Jordan, or whatever the hell your last name is. Molly actually looks pretty close to what one of my cousins looks like. So I thought that meant that she would be nice, but I guess not. Molly and Nick met doing community theater, which is a polite way of saying that they met panhandling outside of a 7-Eleven in Iowa. And I know for a fact that my Facebook has really cool public information, such as I have met 50 Cent twice. But instead you did your research through Nick Hawk. I'm not even gonna follow up to that. Just know I will be using the money you have donated to my Venmo to go and get one of those 2020 cooler things from 7-Eleven that you panhandle outside of. Thank you. Molly and Angelica have a lot in common. For instance, they're both Scorpios. They both look like they would fight a bitch for a single cookie. And at the end of the day, they're both fake as fuck. At least Angelica has an excuse because she's a fictional character. Okay. Kyle Porter, shut the hell up about your fake non-award. Who voted for you? Not any of us. You know, I haven't been able to hear several jokes tonight because Kyle has been vaping aggressively loud. You hear any like whisper noises? It's Kyle vaping. And I think, let's just say the flavor, you know what? Put whatever flavor you think Kyle is vaping in the comments. Let's have some interaction for once on these roasts. Okay. Kyle looks like Angelica's dad, but with the mental capacity of Chucky Fenster. Why did David Parsons write semen and nicotine in our chat?
Vape flavor.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
I'm in on the Facebook comments.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Backfired, huh?
No, it still counts because I said it out loud. Okay. When Nick told us that he knew Molly from community theater, Kyle got a hard on and had to leave the chat. Okay. Landry Miller, let's move on. I saw Landry at the Virtual Plano Comedy Festival where he told everyone that he sends unsolicited dick pics to other men. And I know what you're thinking, but I'm pretty sure he's from Oklahoma and that's actually not illegal there. So he doesn't have to worry about a fine. Okay. Landry ran for Tulsa City Council at one point, but he's still accepting donations on his website. So I just wanted to say props to you. Congratulations on the most well thought out front for drug money. Okay. All right. Now moving on. Before we get into the roast about Angelica, I just need to make this statement. Okay, there used to be a Reptar like sweetened rice cereal. It was kind of like Rice Krispies, but with Reptar shapes that were purple and green. And it was so good, and it was discontinued, and Big Lots was the only place that had it, and then they ran out, and I'm still pissed. And it's been like 20 years, but I'm still pissed. Okay. I have not seen such a horrible case of only child disease. I did not finish writing that roast. So, whoever you on the panel you think is an only child. I haven't seen such a bad case since then. Angelica's singing was so terrible in the Rugrats movie. It actually sent her Aunt Dee Dee into labor. So Nick, I just wanted to ask, was she on your season of The Voice? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a yes. She faked a broken leg so that people would pay attention to her, which is terrible, mainly because her aunt and uncles Dee Dee and Stu had to take her to get an x-ray, and that's like kind of a bitch amount of money to pay on your insurance. If you're just faking a broken bone, bitch. But also shame on Dee Dee and Stu for like thinking that she had a broken bone. Like, do one test before you take her to the ER. Duh. Okay, Angelica has a cookie addiction, which I get. You know, I totally understand why her closest friends would be cookies and a doll that looks like this, because I've been there. Okay, 2017 was a hard year. Okay, the last thing that I have, and I just want to say before I get off the screen, I just want to thank everyone because I've made like $31 tonight, and I don't know how I did it. And it's the most amount of money I've made doing comedy probably in my whole life. Okay. Except for all the jobs that I was at that ended up being jokes. Guess that would count. Okay. But anyway, it's clear that I've had a lot of gin. I'm going to sign off saying one more thing. Angelica doesn't deserve that perfect teeth selection that she has. She didn't even have to get braces, probably. That's not even a roast. I'm just really upset because I have a cavity and I'm 27.
Oh, I love you, Anna. Oh man, yeah. You guys, I'm responding to something real fast because I love technology. Honestly, tonight, I feel like we've gotten the wind back in our sails. All the comedians have been able to make light of situations that have happened in the past, as like as much as us ganging up on people because we're dicks.
Bring back Tom.
I hate you. You guys can see that.
Dead?
That was a dead ringer for Tom. Speaking of Tom being dead, that was a dead ringer.
Why do you all talk about Tom like he's dead?
He's not dead. He's alive. He is fully alive. He is fully alive. We're just not sure this week because contact with him. No, but honestly, the show has been really, really good tonight. I'm happy to keep the energy up. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but last week I got kind of ripped apart by a straight man for not putting him at the beginning or the end, putting him in the middle of the sandwich, like the meat. You know, the meat's the most important part of the sandwich. You know what I mean? It's not the mayonnaise. It's only white people like that shit. You know what I mean? Only certain people put that on their sandwich. Like, you're the ham, bitch. You're the ham. And I'm hoping right now you ham it up because he is a celebrated, but not celebrated enough comedian in the area. He's very funny. He's got a very astute, dry sense of humor, which I really like. I really connect with, and which is very funny to me because I'm not smart, so I shouldn't get funny. But here is Wes Corwin.
Thank you guys. Thank you. This has been great. I've enjoyed. At first, I was worried about this week. I really was. I wasn't sure. I was like, is this really who we're gonna roast? We're roasting a bratty 2-year-old. This is just a personification of the terrible twos. Like, the average age of the person on this show is like early 30s, mid 30s. Miles might be 50. David might be a ghost. Is this a good look? Is this good optics for us to mock like a toddler? Is this a good look? And then I looked on the Rugrats wiki and it turns out she's 3. Fair game. Fuck that kid, right? If you can try it as an adult in Texas, you can get roasted. Absolutely. Let's get into it. I'm excited. I'll start off with Hannah Howard. Hannah implied last week she was unimpressed by my roast of her, which, first of all, roasting you for having your husband on your podcast, I got you. I fucking got you. I think the problem is you grew up in a cult. You're just now learning about ovens and electricity. I think you don't know what a good roast is. I think that's the problem. I think it's really hard to have a good feel for what a roast is when kids in your neighborhood, they didn't do your mama's so fat, they did your mother is so unpious. I think that's a real... Second of all, you can't say someone was unimpressive on this roast show when the best Hannah Howard set on this show was Anna Barden in a wig. Like, I think that's real rough. I will say, I think this week was Hannah Howard's best set. I think this really connected with me because the Rugrats are a group of neglected children. We're finally joking about something she knows about. We're hitting it. It's great. Really good. Really having a good... Kyle Porter, speaking of people that probably enjoyed roasting the Rugrats, this must be really nice for him, roasting the Rugrats, considering roasting Rugrats characters is probably the closest he's going to come to having a child in his life. That's good. I'm glad we can give him that experience. I just wanted to go over while we were sitting here. Here's a list of other Golden Globe nominees. The show Nip Tuck, that movie Avatar with the blue cat aliens that fuck with their hair. That Jim Carrey, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That Robin Williams movie where he tries to cure cancer with a rubber nose. That movie where Mel Gibson can read people's minds. They also nominated Jordan Peele's Get Out as a comedy, which it's not, I mean, sure, Landry Miller laughed at it. I don't think that makes it a comedy. I don't think that's, I just feel like the Golden Globes nominating Kyle Porter is more a comment on how the award has fallen. And I can say that because I won Funniest Comedian in Texas 2018, an award that didn't mean anything before I won it, and after I won it meant less. So I do want to say I think this was a good choice. Some people really connected with this one. I think this episode was great for Anna Barden because the average episode of Rugrats involves the babies getting into a bunch of adventures after their parents leave them, which means Anna Barden's life is an entire yada yada dad. You know how it goes. It's fine. I do really quick want to say I had a meeting with the other board members of the Plano Comedy Festival earlier this week. And we went over the tips that the performers got, and they got $200. And there were 100 some odd performers on the festival. And we were like, hey, we'll take $400 out of the festival fund and we'll split it amongst all the comics, and that'll make it so they make more. And as we were doing that, as we were sending out the emails, the last thought I had was, yeah, on Tuesday, I'm going to get roasted about this. Great. Good. Molly Jordan, I really don't know what to say about you. I scrolled down your Facebook feed and it's 100% pumpkin spice latte memes and pictures of you and a friend watching the Hannah Montana movie. I feel like you alternate between binge watching The Office and binge watching Friends. You know what I mean? I feel like your music is Taylor Swift, your TV show is The Bachelor, and you think liking brunch is a personality. Like, I feel like you wear Native American headdress and then you're like, wait, why am I getting all these angry reacts? Like, this is all to say I'm profoundly jealous of how happy you seem. I really hope you had fun, but don't do comedy again, maybe. Not because you didn't do well, but just because this feels like you're appropriating sad culture, and that's not Speaking of booking a non-comic, Nick Hawk, you booked Tom twice, and now you booked Molly, which means 3 times you've booked a non-comic. Like, what the fuck? For those of you keeping track at home, that's 2 Toms, that's 1 Molly, and 0 non-white people. Nick, for the love of God. We were working on you last week, and now I'm really concerned. Like, I can't pretend to be surprised. Nick Hawk may be a millennial on the outside. Inside, he's a boomer. He's everything about baby boomers. He loves his own joke. He books himself the headline every week. He doesn't like minorities, and he can't upload a Facebook event picture. Guys, how have we not goofed on him this entire time? This has been how every single Facebook event has looked. It's been 3 faces sideways. Nick, it's not just open up Canva or poster my wall and just flip the rotate. It's so easy. I just noticed while we were doing the show that Nick put Roastmaster on his own background, and I'm not surprised that he put Roastmaster on his own background. I'm just surprised he didn't put it in Comic Sans font, honestly. Miles Francis has a podcast about The Simpsons, and I took the time to read all of the reviews for it. There were a lot of them. The reviews ranged from I love The Simpsons but hate the hosts to I used to love The Simpsons and hate the hosts. Miles, I don't know if you're sunburnt or out of breath, but your face is red all the time, and it makes me uncomfortable. You look like Chris Farley's brother's brother, and your comedy is like Chris Farley's brother's brother's brother. Molly, I know you're new to comedy. Just for you, that was the meanest thing anyone said so far tonight, just so you know. David Parsons is here. He probably had a harder time with this roast because he loves his children and he didn't have Ina Barton's dad for a father. See, I could be nice to people if I wanted to. I just don't. I don't week out and week out. David Parsons is dressed in white and looks like he's never seen the sun. He looks like the ghost of Christmas dinner. And I don't feel good about that. We're both big guys. I just feel like I have to go harder on David because he's taller than me. You know how it is. It's tough. Landry Miller is in the Zoom with 8 other people, which is 2 more votes than he got when he ran for city council.
Oh my God.
Landry, you had less votes than Casey Robinson, Landry, a guy whose social media presence was loving Tulsa's food scene and accusing his opponents of being socialists. Yes, I looked up Casey Robinson because I care. That's why I'm closing out the show. I do really quick want to go over Angelica's various crimes. It's actually very similar to the list of people that were nominated for Golden Globes. Stole Chucky's teeth out of his head. Told Chucky when he ate a watermelon seed, it would grow and explode in his stomach like the movie Alien. Faked a broken leg. We did bring that up to guilt her aunt and uncle and taking care of her. Told Tommy he would disappear slowly like the siblings in Back to the Future as Dill was given his toys. Went to Phil and Lil's home and managed to convince the twins one of them had to be rejected, which that's kind of delightful. I feel like the Rugrats ended too soon. We only see Angelica as a baby in Rugrats and a teenager in that show we didn't watch. If we watched her age into adulthood, I guarantee you Angelica becomes Tommy Loren. You know what I mean? She's Tommy Loren, or she's Caitlin Bennett, that Kent State girl with the gun, or like she's Kaylee, like she sows deceit. She's all about fake news. She votes Trump. She gets into devil's advocate arguments. Like, why shouldn't we steal children's teeth? Children's teeth are a vital part of the economy. You know what I mean? I feel like Angelica wants to build a playpen fence on the border and make Mexico pay for it. You know what I mean? Like it would be the exact same. She would still call people dumb babies. She just also call them snowflakes and libtards. It's the same. The only part she'd have trouble with is pretending to be pro-life. And again, she'd just have to be okay with babies until they're born, which is fine for her. You know what I mean? Anyway, I gave Anna Barden $5, which means I've made a net negative $5 on these shows. Thank you guys so much for this experience. I really appreciate it.
Oh, let's give it up for Wes Corwin.
Oh, good.
You ask why we don't put you on last. It's because you bring the energy down. No, just kidding. I love you, Wes Corwin. I'm really happy that you were a part of this. I love having you every week. Honestly, you're someone that I really look up to in the comedy scene here, which really isn't much. There's not a lot to look at. Next up, we have our special guest. Now, honestly, when I first saw this person on my social media pop up, I was like, I don't know if we're going to get along because she seems like a strong Taurus. And I'm a Cancer, so I'm sensitive as fuck, you know what I mean? But honestly, after working with her on a show and talking to her, just my late night high drunken rampages, she has been just such a sweet soul. It's been just so nice. And I am mad I didn't get to know her a little bit earlier, honestly, because she's very, very wonderful. We have one of DFW's like hidden gems of comedy. She's so funny. She's so funny. We are going to bring up this lady who at some point said she could defend Angelica Pickles, but we'll see what she does tonight. Here we go. Mana.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. I didn't realize you guys weren't going to attack Angelica. So it's pretty easy to defend a 3-year-old child that you guys didn't actually go after. What David called his sister a cunt, that seemed like a personal thing. Seemed like y'all just kind of got on and talked for a while. I was told that I could roast the other comics, but I didn't see any until Wes went up. I want to clarify. I saw your sets. I did not see any comedy. Angelica has attachment issues, which I'm surprised nobody really brought up. She holds on to Cynthia like all of you guys hold on to the hopes that you're gonna make it at open mic comedy. Love it. I love it so much. That was so many white people making fun of other white people for being white people. It just felt like being around the water cooler at Fox News. That was super fun. Let's see. I wrote some notes down while you guys were talking. The main thing I wrote down was that it's so embarrassing that you guys wrote all of that stuff down. It's so clear that you were reading, but it wasn't. Anyway, happy to be here. You guys brought up that Angelica faked her broken leg, but you guys are not bringing up that Angelica pulled off faking a broken leg. What a bad bitch. What a bad bitch to pull it off. And in the process, she also exposed the malpractice of the doctor's office, because at the hospital, like, she was given the wrong information because they said that she was Peaches. So they gave out some other kid's x-ray, which I don't know if you've been on the other end of that. I have, because when I got my gallbladder out, I had the doctor call ahead to the other hospital to say that I was coming, and he read off all of this information. And then when he got off the phone, he said, "Do you have any questions for me?" And I said, "Yes. Who's Katie?" And he was like, "You're not Katie." I was like, "No, I'm not Katie." And he goes, "Damn it, I read the wrong chart again." And I was like, "You said again. You said again." Let's see. I don't know. I wrote some stuff down while you guys were talking, but it felt like nobody else tried. So I didn't really want to try. I really thought it was nice that you put these characters behind us, because all of these characters are more well developed than any of the comics standing in front of them. Let's see. Oh, I think it's really interesting that everybody kind of just says Angelica's bossy. Like, she's 3. She's a toddler. She's bossy. She also vocalizes what she wants, right? That's a bad bitch move. She vocalizes what she wants. Her mom is fucking bad as fuck. She's the CEO of her company. Charlotte Pickles is an icon. Angelica also grew up to be so badass at debating. Like, do you guys not remember? Nobody watched it. Wes is right. Nobody watched it. I watched it. Nobody else watched it. But on that show, like, she grew up to be really good at debating and stuff. This is also really weird because I'm like watch myself. Ooh. And I can see. Oh, you guys are all still in here. Why? Why would you? Kyle's eating. Hannah's got the pink hair. Sure, I'm borderline. I get it. Let's see. That's the other thing with Angelica, because somebody mentioned that it's like a mental health thing with her maybe being dead the whole time and imagining all the dumb babies, right? But she just is clearly a borderline personality. Like, she faked a broken leg, but when she's older, she'll like really break it. She'll grow into it. She'll grow into her crazy. I really liked Nick's introduction for me, because I have to say I've never been called intimidating by a man I wouldn't call a little bitch. So I really enjoyed that. I'd like to go get dick down, so I'm going to leave. But that's really all I had to say, is that you guys should be ashamed that you're not Angelica Pickles and you're not even striving to be half as good as she is, or her mother. Really, she comes from a long line of bad bitches, and I saw no bad bitches here tonight. So thank you. Goodbye.
I don't feel as bad because, like, I haven't gone yet, so like that makes me feel better about who I am as a person. But I'm sure I will still not meet the standards, because Mana has a really high standard. She's a great woman. She deserves it. What we are going to talk about tonight is we're going to talk about you guys, because honestly, I'm waiting for this. Okay, like, listen. Second one. Okay.
Is that a new bottle?
Is that your second bottle of juice?
Second bottle of sangria from California Roots, which is $5, which is economically savvy for a faggot like me in this economy. Oh my God. That was okay. So tonight, listen, these roasts, again, I waited until I got super high or super drunk to write these. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be fucking full frontal with you guys right now. Like Jamie Lee Curtis in that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? She's like stripping.
Blue Lies.
Yeah, of course you've seen it, Kyle, you creep. Oh my God. I just love that. I love that. We are going to open up with one of my friends. I say this term loosely because after tonight, she's a cunt to me. I'm going to start with Molly. Okay, I'm going to take a swig because like I deserve it. First of all, like if you want to tip me, that'd be nice because I'm like running the show and shit. You know what I mean? That'd be really cool because I'm doing like all the work and picking off people and reading people's names wrong. So you know what I mean? Here we go. I just want to let you guys know that to me tonight, Angelica is the ultimate 90s baddie. And so I decided to wear my best 90s baddie outfit, which is a Pink Floyd cutoff t-shirt and a cutoff jacket. I just want to let you guys know that I was thinking outside the box for this one. Okay. Molly is as likable as Dee Dee from Dexter's Laboratory. So not at all. It's unreal. It is crazy. All of my jokes tonight have to center around the 90s. I wrote all of them. They have something to do with the 90s, whether it's like sitcoms or whatever. Molly is such a gem. I mean, after her performance tonight, don't you all agree? She has the manners of Reptar and the brain power of Dill Pickles, which is great. When she's so stupid, when she first heard about ovarian cancer, she got really, really sad. And then she was like, I didn't know shapes could get cancer. It was crazy. She's dumb as fuck, bro. I don't know if you guys know this, but since we're talking about, you know, Nickelodeon, at college frats in Virginia, they refer to Molly as Patty Mayonnaise. Something about Skeeter. I don't know. Molly's motto for STDs is simple. Like Pokemon says, gotta catch them all. That's sweet. That's nice of her. That's really, really nice of her. Hannah Howard, she's coming up next. I really love this big old bag of shit. Hannah Howard being on the screen. I see her walking back in slow-mo. Hannah Howard is Dee Dee Pickles because just like Dee Dee, she has two children who she doesn't care enough about or spend enough time with. Always relying on her husband to work a full-time job and take care of the children even though she's unemployed. It's crazy. It is silly. Men will do anything for that wop, as they say in the business, that wop. This one's another 90s. You guys tell me if you like it because I put some cheesy ones in this one, okay? Hannah has a full house. She away from her kids any chance that she can get, you know, step by step. She's just one step away from having the courage to go to a gun range, which is cool because you got to learn somewhere, Hannah. You got to learn somewhere. Hannah Howard and Anna Barden always complain, like all the time. If they were a 90s TV cartoon, they would be the Angry Beavers. So I like that one. When you look at Betty DeVille, which is Phil and Lil's mom, and you look at Anna, it's kind of like looking in a mirror, you know? Both of them are built like softball players and completely unwanted by most men. Anna, this includes your father. I'm sorry I had to throw that in there just because you were picking on me. You know what I mean? You were mad because you were thinking I was going hard, giving people secrets. I wasn't. I was being a good person. You might know this. You might not know this, but Anna refers to her vagina as the wild thornberry, which is nice. It's really sweet. I like that. We have Miles Francis here tonight. And fun fact, Miles played Meanie on the Drew Carey show. So yeah, it's like, it's crazy. I can't believe we got you here. I guess fan expos aren't going too well. Miles Francis radiates Chucky energy to me. Because the only person willing to hang out with him is me. You know, a charming boy next door type that's to see anyone be left alone. So I occasionally invite him out to see some titties because Lord knows, without me, Titties would just be an elusive mythical creature he draws in his notebook. Yeah, it just, he's got to see the real thing to understand what's about. This is another 90s cartoon throwback. Miles Francis looks like if Mikey from Recess grew up and worked for a Sunglass Hut kiosk in the mall. Yeah. And on the same note, Kyle looks like if Gus grew up to become heavily addicted to drugs and LARPing. So it's neat. You gotta have that. You gotta have that. Kyle probably still has his mom pick out his outfits for him. He just seems like that kind of guy. Hey, Kyle's mom. I've never met you, but like this insult's for you, little bitch. Kyle's mom. Your fashion choices are similar to Stevie Wonder's because you're clearly blind to fashion and blind to the fact that your son is a hungry bottom. Okay. Crazy. You'll be inviting a new man into your life. It's going to be a son-in-law, not a woman. Kyle, I saved this one for you. Kyle reminds me of Gargamel from the Smurfs. Because the only way he will satisfy a pussy is with Fancy Feast. Oh! Just gonna say that. Next, I don't know if you guys noticed, but tonight we have some of the cast members from Gargoyles here tonight. Miles Francis and Wes. They both just look like they could perch on any tall building with their long ass toenails. You know, straight men don't upkeep that. They just don't. Wes Corwin's background is Grandpa Lou. I thought that was really fitting. I gave it to him because I'm hoping he dies soon, much like his comedy career. Just, yeah, you're doing too many of my shows. I know you're not good enough anymore. No, I'm just kidding. David Parsons. Let's give it up for David Parsons because not many women are giving it up for David Parsons. I gave David Parsons Grandpa Boris because much like Boris, I have a hard time understanding anything that comes out of his mouth. I get it. Like he's always just trying to sound fancy. You know, we get it. You're from England and you think you're better than us. But just remember, like, even if you get your green card, you'll never be one of us. Ooh. I'm just kidding. When I look at David Parsons and Hannah and Miles, I'm just like, oh, real monsters. You know what I mean? They are real monsters. It is crazy. It is fucking insane. I wish upon David Parsons' life the same thing that happened to the TV show Kablam, that it ends abruptly. I'm just really hoping. David Parsons' body type is Patrick from SpongeBob. You guys know what I mean. He just has a really large center and it has 5 huge masses protruding out of it, making up his limbs and that horrible excuse for a face. And ladies, he just wanted me to let you know that he is moist. So nice. It's nice to know. Landry Miller, I haven't forgot about you, you fucking bastard. Okay, so Landry Miller's penis reminds me of the Nickelodeon show Cat Dog. Confusing as fuck, and it's ultimately not satisfying enough. You know what I mean? And cut them in half, could they both survive? No one ever brought that up. I just want to know. Landry Miller is pretty similar to Stu Pickles. That's why I gave it to him as his background. Because if he ever gets married, his wife is going to question if she should leave him all the time. It's crazy. She's gonna be like, is this the moment? Should I back out? Should I not? Thank you guys so much for letting me roast you tonight. Honestly, I'm happy I got I followed my rules tonight, which was like follow the structure in which I put in place, you faggot, which was just make jokes about the 90s. You know what I mean? I think I did that. I think I also pissed some people off. But you know what? The thing is I love every single person who's done this show tonight. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't care what anybody else has to say because it really doesn't matter. It's my show. You guys, this has been the strongest lineup, I think, out of any of the roast shows. No one was specifically weak. I mean, the weakest link we had was Molly, and that's because she's, remember, oppressed. So tell me how that works. Tell me how that fucking works. Fucking pumpkin spice drinking bitch. Anyways, you guys have been really a gem tonight. I really enjoy making fun of you every night. If you want, you can tip us. Here's my shit over here. Like, if you want, you can do it. I don't care. All that money, I think it's kind of fucked up that Anna capitalized on it so quick because I think all my friends ended up donating her money and now I'm not going to get anything, you know?
Yep.
So it's cool though because she deserves it. Maybe all this money will just help her like forgive me for things I've said to her. Bring people up in different orders tonight. I'm going to bring up the last person in the show because he was so hell-bent on being last because he's just so good, right? It is Wes Corwin. Yeah, there he is. Wes Corwin. There at Wes Cornfield. Venmo at Wes-Corwin. Go check him out. He's a hoot and a holler, as my grandma would say after she told me to wash my hands. Next up, we have someone who is illegally in this country. David Parsons. Yes. You evade them as much as you can, you motherfucker, but please stop evading your penis from my asshole. I'm not into it. I just love you so much. Just give me a 7 accent any day. Next up, we have this delicious creature. Her name is Anna Bards.
Oh.
Anna Barden, you can follow her or like at anything at Olive Barden, like Olive Garden, because she's just as satisfying, but she's gluten-free, so you know it's better for you.
Thank you so much for all the tips already, you guys. Oh my God.
Let me get it.
Sarah from me.
This pink hair.
Truly.
Hannah Howard. Yes! She's getting in on it. She's getting in on it. Hannah is hilarious and she has kids to feed and her husband is only supporting her so much longer before they get a divorce. So
And I'm depressed.
Instagram at Miss Hannah Howard. Cash App, as always, $sign bitch and Hannah if you want it. Yeah. As she deep throats 8 dicks at one time. Anyways, next up we have this underwhelming creature. He was actually pretty funny tonight. This is his first time on the show, so let's give it up to Landry Miller.
Yay!
Landry Miller, you can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Landry from Tulsa. Who lives there or for Tulsa? Who cares? You shouldn't be in Tulsa, you fucking Venmo at Landry Miller. Thank you. You're such a doll. Now I'm going to move on to the man of my dreams. Kyle Porter!
Me? Oh, me?
Venmo at Kyle-Porter-16 because any money will maybe help him win that nomination of a nomination.
Ooh, or a visit to the doctor to
Kyle.
check out my downstairs.
Yes, Instagram. Yes, downstairs is located at Instagram at Kyle CM Porter. Trust me, I've masturbated to them so many times. But to tell you the truth, his videos I have to play 3 or 4 times in order to climax because the pitch of his voice has to be just right.
It's up here.
Yeah, there you go, you little faggot. Next up, we have Molly Jordan.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show tonight and showing us really what white privilege is. Molly Jordan.
Thank you. This was terrifying. Never again.
Memorn 003. What you fucking loser. Venmo.
It's my college email
Corwin.
address.
Wes Corwin, because honestly, he needs hair plugs. Next up,
I have a real job. I don't need money.
I don't think we have anyone else. I went through everyone, right?
You.
I went through everyone.
No, but it's cool.
Miles, God damn it.
I get it.
Let's
I
give
would.
it
I'd
up
make
for
the same
the
choice.
always for the always forgotten Chucky Finster.
Hey, I am willing to get more drunk and cry if it gets me more Venmo like Anna. Just let me know what I can do better next week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you say on,
Miles
I'll
Francis.
Venmo you more if you keep drinking.
Venmo, Twitter, and Instagram at Mr. Most Days Off. You still haven't got a fucking job, bro? You still haven't got a job? Like, this is crazy. It's like, you know, we're going through something economically, but like, I'm still getting unemployment. What's happening? Guys, listen. So the thing is we have a lot of fun every night, like, that we do this. Like, I have a great time. I'm going to drink some more wine because you know what? This makes it easier to deal with the rebuttals, like jokes from all these comedians that think I'm not their friends anymore because I'm like vicious.
Correct.
I'm really your friend. Anna Barden, I rep you harder than anyone else. I rep you so hard that I tear Wes Davis apart anytime he comes on this. Okay? That is friendship. I don't care. That is better than anything. I don't care. I love you so much. Hold on.
What is that's like $5 from Walmart, not even Target.
You know what? Be yourself. Okay, so listen. Next week, I haven't unleashed the person. Do you guys think I should tell you right now or take some more like
Tell us now.
Tell us now,
Tell
bitch.
us now.
Tell us.
He's a patient.
Okay, so I have to do this because not only does this comedy man have my heart at times, he knows who he is because he already started smiling. His name is Kyle. He suggested, and we're gonna go with it because if it fails, guess what? It's your fucking fault, faggot.
Suck me.
Oh my God.
I know. We are gonna go with Bella from Twilight.
So another protagonist,
Yay!
another classic winner. First of all, Kyle, this is a little easy.
Hey, guess what? Hey, Molly, guess what? You're not gonna be on the show, so don't fucking worry.
I've read all the books. It's fine.
I'm just kidding.
I read all the actual literature.
Honestly, you guys, everyone tonight bring a very good set. David, like, you are very funny. That's why I brought you back. I think you're very hilarious. Molly, I knew you could just tune into being a cunt. I don't know if there's any other route for you in comedy, but you got a place here for a little bit if you want it. And I just want to say, Landry, honestly, out of everyone who's just a first timer, you shocked the fuck out of me. You did really, really good. You're very well written. The whole bit, throwing pieces of paper that had no jokes on it, and you were looking at another device underneath it. I saw that, you fucking twat. I saw that. You guys have all done wonderful tonight. Please share this video if you're watching it right now. Donate to these fucking goddamn orphans up above. You know what I mean? Just donate to them. We didn't show a group picture, so here we are. Group picture. Everyone, yeah. David, say hello. You guys did all amazing tonight. Now the thing is, come and check us out next week because we are going to be doing
No group picture, just Nick's face.
Yeah, and by the way, you fucking comedians going out and doing fucking performances places, and guess what? COVID's gonna ramp up again because maybe, I don't know, maybe Head Richards, you guys went to fucking and we're posting pictures of you standing right next to people, hugging them with no fucking mask on. Maybe that's the reason that this has come on a little further. I'm sorry, Anna Bristol, whatever your last name is, the pose. I don't care who I'm fucking calling out. The thing is if the reason you didn't take this safely is because is the reason we're not getting to go out and enjoy our fucking lives is because you guys decided to not take it seriously. I'm sorry.
I'm dead.
Emily,
Who didn't wear a mask?
Emily, are you watching? Anyone? Gretio? I love you, Gretio. But like,
Don't wear a mask.
all you guys wear a fucking mask. It's really hard. I don't like to
Oh my
cover my
God.
mouth either. I don't like to.
Anna, are you not wearing a mask? I'm
I
gonna have
want
to.
dicks.
Not
I
me,
want
it's another
dicks.
Anna.
I want
I
dicks.
need my money back.
So I don't
From
wear
you.
a mask. So like you guys can wear a mask because honestly, your comedy is not that funny that people need to see it right now. Okay? You need to fucking dial it back. I'm sorry, but this is a PSA for fucking America. Okay.
Yes.
Nick is taking us to church, y'all.
Preach, bitch.
People, I'm sick of people posting on their Facebooks. Oh my God, like I'm traveling to this place and I don't have a fucking mask on when I'm on a fucking plane. Wear a fucking mask. I'm sorry, but like, period. I love all of you as comedians. I think you all have something new to offer this community. But if you're not taking it fucking seriously, then I don't want to fucking talk to you, period. I'm so sorry about that.
I'm giving you a standing ovation.
Standing ovation.
Which is really big for Anna in this condition. Standing up is actually pretty
that's
remarkable
impressive.
right now.
No, really, I'm telling you right now, any place I go to,
You could have been cheering on the Nazi regime and she still would have stood up, but it's fine.
no, I just make sure that if I'm going any place books need to do a show, I'm going to take everything cautiously. So it doesn't matter to me that I don't get a picture with everyone fucking else before I leave, because I don't care about your friendship anyways. You know what I mean? So
because y'all are in Texas, because in Virginia we wear masks.
yeah, they do not hear Texas.
Apparently we don't fucking believe in anything but conspiracy theories.
They don't.
Down here in Texas, we have a thing called the Second Amendment, which says I don't have to wear a fucking mask.
Listen,
Yes.
I'm going to talk to you about your Second
Here's
Amendment because it has
another
nothing to do with your
little-
goddamn mask. I can guarantee you that the Constitution ain't got nowhere in there masks or PPE.
Okay, I will let you know. just
Remember the whole
another
no
side
truth in
note.
comedy thing, Molly?
This is
All
just
right,
another
I'm done.
side
I'm done.
note.
I'm signing off. Goodbye forever.
Another side note is that all you people getting booked on shows right now,
Oh my God.
you might be only getting booked on shows, and I'm not saying this to be a bitch, I'm saying it to be a realist. You might be only getting booked on these shows because all the comedians who are taking it seriously and are worth the talent aren't willing to do shows.
Yeah, we're
Is
on
that
this
why I'm
show.
on this show?
So
Is that
fuck
why
you.
We're
I'm
on
here?
this show. We're on this show.
Is
Do
that
what
you
you
reached
want.
out?
Do what you want
Would
in
now
your
be a good
life.
time for me to list my show dates I have coming up?
No, we do not. Just make sure that if you're doing comedy right now, take it seriously, because us comedians who are stuck at home and really want to get out there and really want to make a difference and make people laugh, we cannot because of stupid, foolish decisions that you guys are making.
I'm a better auditor than I am a comedian. So if anyone needs an auditor,
Yeah, Molly, you have no funny bone in your system, and we're gonna
I
end
know.
you guys.